Tonight marks my return to the show that started it all for me, NXT. And since I've left, I've accomplished a lot in the WWE. I launched a successful line of t-shirts. I've become world champion. I've grown an immaculate beard. And I am the tag team champions. So since I've climbed the ladder a little bit since leaving NXT, I have a couple small requests. First of all, I demand that no one say yes when I come to the ring. Second, I demand that since I am a very handsome man, that nobody calls me a goat face. And lastly, I demand that you stay out of my way.
Look, Daniel, let's get something straight. I am the tag team champions, so I don't need your help. You stay out of my way tonight.
You're not the tag team champions. I'm the tag team champions.
I'm the tag team champions.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
Yes.
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 Oh.
Yes.
Welcome back to another edition of NXT here inside the NXT Arena. What a night you chose to join us. The WWE Tag Team Champions Team Hell No is in the building tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Mount Sinai, New York, weighing 195 pounds, Trent Beretta.
Well, last week on NXT, Trent Beretta found himself in a world of pain. You can see those bandaged ribs, and he was attacked brutally. We're not quite sure who did this, JR. This is a big mystery back in the locker room.
A lot of speculation on what happened last week, as you just saw. When Trent Beretta was found, we think Cassius Ohno had something to do with the manipulation, and we've also heard Beretta's opponent, Leo Kruger, mentioned in that conspiracy theory.
Opponent from Johannesburg, South Africa, weighing 220 pounds, Leo Kruger.
Well, there is the Hunter himself. Again, we're not quite sure. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the attack on Trent Beretta, but the man you see before us could be the one responsible. And this is just a sick individual, JR.
Very unique man is the alleged assailant, Trent Beretta. Leo Kruger from Johannesburg, South Africa. Certainly had a different demeanor, a different style that we saw. That he made a trip home. Not sure exactly what occurred when Kruger was back in South Africa. He came back, almost went back to his roots. Family known as being in the hunting business. So he's a stalker, a hunter, trapper. Unique man, but he's had a different attitude as Leo Kruger, who's quite frankly an outstanding in-ring competitor.
Well, I understand he comes from a troubled background, and I think the one way to describe this man is that he is absolutely primal. And he goes out there and he is looking for trophies.
Well, there's no better trophy than becoming the NXT champion, which helps you punch your ticket to the next level, as we've talked about. And Trent Beretta certainly assaulting Leo Kruger as if Beretta knows it was Leo Kruger who was Beretta's assailant last week. Beretta all taped up, those injured ribs. from that assault. Don't know exactly what the level of condition that Beretta will be in, 100%, whatever, I don't know. But it certainly doesn't look like he's 100% here to this week.
Well, both competitors going at it pretty strong right now. Trent Beretta favoring those injured ribs. Looking to take a chance here maybe, but Leo Kruger
right on the ribs.
acting quickly, and that injured body part going to come into play. And the Hunter, once he sees a weakness, is going to go in for that kill.
When someone hurts their ribs, you can't inhale and exhale. The oxygen is the fuel that runs this machine. And now Kruger, look at him. He's just unwrapping, dismantling, I should say, Trent Beretta.
Well, I don't know how much that tape may have been helping in the first place, but Leo Kruger about to take Trent Beretta to task.
On point right there was Leo Kruger, who, as you can see, the look on his face, is enjoying his handiwork.
And again, pounding away mercilessly on the ribs of Trent Beretta. And a couple weeks back, if you all remember the video involving Leo Kruger, he said he's so excited to play with all his friends. And I talked to him backstage. He thinks trophies are his friends. He thinks the people that he is going to put on his theoretical mantle are his friends, JR.
Abdominal stretch applied by Leo Kruger, again putting the torque and the pressure on the injured ribs of Trent Beretta.
Kruger now maniacally dissecting those ribs. You can hear the sick cackle as he just shakes Trent Beretta uncontrollably. The image of the NXT universe set to change, but the status of Trent Beretta's ribs changing frequently in this matchup as Leo Kruger in full control so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like ribs, but I don't like to
Not
see
this
another.
guy.
I don't see a man's ribs broken. And look at Kruger, the point of the elbow. Kruger is like a surgeon. He knows exactly where to all the pressure points.
And like any good hunter, going after the weak antelope at the back of the pack. And right now, the antelope is the ribs of Trent Beretta. And the official finally breaking that hold from Kruger.
Yeah, Kruger had a handful of hair. And of course, he had a 4 count to break it, or he'd been disqualified on 5. And now look at Beretta hung out to dry over the top rope. Those are steel cables inside that rubber. So those cables, the ropes are very unforgiving, especially when one has busted up ribs.
And whether it was Cassius Ono or Leo Kruger, we don't know, but Trent Beretta backed into a corner right now, and Leo Kruger attacking those vicious clubs to the face. Looking to fly is Kruger, but flying up there with a drop kick was Beretta.
A courageous counter by the risk-taking Trent Beretta.
Let's take a look at that one more time, but here comes Beretta with the pinfall. No, he cannot get him.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, we
Let's take a
also
look at
hear
that
the
replay
scuttlebutt. A
one
lot of
more time.
rumors going
Trent
around
Beretta
that our
stopping
commissioner, Dusty Rhodes,
any
has
kind
a
of offense
major
there from Leo
game-changing
Kruger,
announcement
dead in
here
the air.
tonight, and we look forward to that. Resourceful there, took a chance, it paid off, and now can Trent Beretta, bad ribs and all, fight his way back into this one-on-one matchup here this week on NXT, on a week where the WWE Tag Team Champions Team Hell No will be in our main event. Nice move by Beretta.
And also we'll hear from Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal, who are getting set to face off in the coming weeks for the NXT Championship. Here's a pin cover and no good.
One arm cover is not going to get it done. Our broadcast colleague Michael Cole will be here this week conducting that situation with the #1 contender Mahal and the NXT champion. Beretta, I got to hand it to him. He's back up. He's fighting as tough as he can to get back in the game, but his body is starting to give away thanks to those ribs. Look at this.
Oh, what elevation from Kruger, and any type of steam that may have been built up by Beretta just went out of the building.
Kruger is sadistically brilliant in his game plan. A very dangerous man.
And there is the Kruger end. And that will do it for Trent Beretta. The Hunter adds another trophy to his collection. I'll tell you, JR, this is probably one of the most dangerous men in NXT, if not the most. Have you ever seen anything like this?
The one-man flapjack. Look at all this. They're bad ribs. The canvas doesn't care. Very unforgiving. And then the end. Cougar end. for Leo Kruger.
So Kruger getting the victory here over Trent Beretta. Still a tremendous mystery surrounding what may have happened to those ribs initially from Trent Beretta.
Kruger's a mechanic. Beretta knows that there'll be another day when those ribs are healed. But that man, Leo Kruger, is a force to be reckoned with here.
And still to come tonight, a huge confrontation between NXT champion Seth Rollins and the #1 contender Jinder Mahal, face to face in the middle of the ring, moderated by the voice of WWE, Michael Cole. Plus, tonight, the main event, the Tag Team Championship titles are on the line as Team Hell No invades the NXT arena to take on Johnny Curtis and Michael McGillicuddy. Stay tuned, that's our main event on NXT.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Angel Grove, California, weighing 207 pounds, Xavier Woods.
Well, this guy's got dance fever. Tom Phillips here, joined ringside by the Hall of Famer, good old JR, Jim Ross, as Xavier Woods makes his way to the ring to do action inside the NXT arena with Memo Montenegro. And Xavier Woods is quite the unique type here at NXT.
And his opponent, from San Luis, Mexico, weighing 234 pounds, Memo Montenegro.
Xavier Woods, he's a dance lover, loves funk, especially Parliament and Funkadelic, loves to go to concerts. He told me after this, he's got to hit the road because he's headed to a big concert in Alabama tomorrow. This guy's all over the place.
I am quite the connoisseur of funk myself.
I thought so.
A lot of people didn't know that. Also, this young man is working on his PhD. So he will be Dr. Xavier Woods in the near future. Very intelligent. Love his athleticism.
Working on a master's in educational psychology. Says he's also trained in hip-hop keto, which is similar to capoeira. And he said he was trained by the great Zach Taylor. This is a very engaging individual.
Never heard of him. The great Zach Taylor.
That's what he told me personally.
Side headlock, I know those. Side headlock is very effective on Memo, who didn't get the memo on how to escape it thus far anyway.
Memo Montenegro, a third-generation superstar from the Mexican wrestling dynasty. And here's a guy who's probably been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, reminiscent of Alberto Del Rio. Xavier Woods looking to get things going with a big elbow there to the face of Montenegro. So far, Woods controlling the pace of this match. And with a guy who's as skilled as he is as a dancer at concerts, as a funketeer, you may even call him, I don't know. But this guy, he's really brings a ton of athleticism to the rim. I don't know how Montenegro is going to keep up with it. What do you think, JR?
Well, I think that it's great that the young Xavier Woods can dance and that he likes music of all kinds. But when the bell rings, a lot of those tastes really go out the window. You put them on the shelf and leave them there, at least for the time being. This young man's an outstanding athlete. He's very fast, and he can dictate a pace, and you're seeing what he's doing here. Everything very, very basic. He's not reinventing anything here. Golly, Strangler Lewis used this maneuver back in the early 1900s, and I was down there young enough to call that, or old enough now. But side headlocks are easy.
Montenegro looking to fight back.
They're easy to execute, and they're very effective if done correctly.
Woods sets him up with the drop kick straight to the chest.
That may have driven the air out of Memo. Xavier's got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of... I don't know what he said there, but it was emphatic.
The roll up into a clothesline, and he gets the win. Memo Montenegro down for the count as, well, the Dancing King, you may call him, from Angel Grove, California, Xavier Woods gets the win. He's awful happy about it, ain't he, JR?
Should be. He made more money than Memo tonight. And I'm sure some folks in WWE are noticing this charismatic young man who's not only athletic but intelligent.
Still to come tonight on NXT, champion and challenger in the middle of the ring. WWE voice Michael Cole will be here to moderate this exclusive interview. They'll come up later tonight, 2 weeks prior to their colossal championship match.
The following is a Divas contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Houston, Texas, Audrey Marie. And her opponent, from Melbourne, Australia, Emma.
Divas Division action set to get underway here on NXT. Tom Phillips ringside here with the Hall of Famer good old JR, Jim Ross, and Audrey Marie, the country cowgirl, making her way into the ring to face off against Emma, the Australian-born competitor, and this should be a real good one. The WWE officials have been keeping a very close eye on what is happening in the Divas Division within NXT. We've seen what the international influence has done here to the developmental roster of WWE, the heavy influence from England and Australia, and now Emma looking to add to that, but Audrey Marie coming off the ropes here. Audrey Marie looking to get things started here. Big drop kick, might have the cover here. 1 count, and there goes Emma. And this is Emma's very first appearance here on NXT.
Comes to us from the land down under. A lot of great fans in Australia. WWE very, very popular there, and certainly other tours are indicative of that. I'm sure that Emma grew up watching WWE as a young lady.
A unique submission maneuver here, Emma.
That is a body scissors, Tom.
Tied up right now. Thank you, JR.
You're welcome.
And ground and pound kind of style, looking for the early finish, and rolling out of it is Emma. And in her first match here at NXT, Emma, you've got to be a little concerned about how green she is.
Inexperience would be a better word, perhaps, for young Emma, as she is. We know that she has been scouted and signed by WWE officials, so we know that she has potential and has some special skill set. But you're right, you know, the fact that she hasn't had a lot of opportunity here on television.
Looking for the pin there, and now just spinning it around. Can't even hold her down long enough to get a pin, but Audrey Marie certainly disorienting Emma here.
That's an interesting roll there by Audrey.
Now the cover and a 2 count, but Emma manages to escape Audrey Marie.
An H-Town roll, should we say, for Audrey Marie, former accountant from Houston, Texas.
I talked to her before today's match, and she told me not to underestimate her within the Divas division. She is someone who can compete with the best of them. Now Emma looking to get a win maybe here in her first matchup, but no, Audrey Marie gets away.
Nice strength bridging up is Audrey Marie. I feel badly for both these ladies. They neither have a last name.
A giant play there, and now across the chest, and cannot get the W.
That's quite the cross
Jen
body.
Emma.
Quite the cross body there, Tom. There's a body on body there.
Looking for the pin now again is Emma. Shoulders down, Marie. Audrey Marie able to escape.
Backslide attempt. Audrey strong.
Emma in a world of trouble here, and that might just do it. Emma. The pinfall goes to Audrey Marie, and impressive there, the last roundup slam there for Audrey Marie.
Well, Audrey Marie just gave us an indication she has more experience, has been in the ring on NXT more times than the debuting, obviously, Emma from Australia. But we will watch the evolution of Emma in time. It will be up to her as to how much she invests, because what she invests, she'll get out.
Impressive showing from Audrey Marie. We're going to switch gears here and now and head backstage to our broadcast colleague, Tony Dawson, who is standing by with the one and only Roman Reigns.
Backstage, this was supposed to be an interview with Roman Reigns, but unfortunately, I'm holding a Roman Reigns press release, urgent, and I'm reading here. Due to previous engagements, Roman Reigns has asked to take a Reigns check on this interview. He hopes that all of his fans understand that as a major blue chipper, many companies are in a bidding war to use his services as an endorser. Reigns has meetings with his team that are just a little more important at this time. According to this release, Reigns will participate in this interview at a later date.
Well, the show must go on. A huge main event tonight. Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan will put their WWE Tag Team Championships on the line against Johnny Curtis and Mr. Intensity, Michael McGillicuddy. But up next, a big-time confrontation between champion and challenger. The voice of WWE, Michael Cole, is on hand to moderate this interview between NXT champion Seth Rollins and the #1 contender, Jinder Mahal. Don't go anywhere, you're watching NXT.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the voice of the WWE, Michael Cole.
Yeah, baby. I wake up every morning, can't wait to embrace the day. I take my coffee by the pool.
That is some snappy music.
I pass my picket fence
Voice
and
of
gaze
WWE, Michael
across
Cole. You
my
see him
new
every Monday
mowed
night on
lawn.
Raw.
I never thought my life could be this good.
I'm gonna have quite a conversation here with
I
Seth
have
Rollins.
a friend.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I'm really excited to be here tonight at NXT, this radical new show. And really, from what I've seen all night long, it is the proving ground of the next generation of superstars in WWE. You're going to see these guys on SmackDown, Raw, main event one day. Speaking of main events, I'm so proud to be out here tonight to be the moderator for this face-to-face confrontation between the two men who will meet for the prestigious NXT Championship in 2 weeks right here on this show. First off, I'd like to introduce you to the #1 contender for the NXT title, Jinder Mahal.
Certainly, Jinder Mahal feels that it is his birthright, it is his destiny to be the NXT champion.
He's done everything to prove that. He's beaten so many competitors here within NXT, most notably recently putting his title opportunity on the line against Bo Dallas, coming away victorious in that one thanks to that patented camel clutch. And as he gets ready to face Seth Rollins, what happens in this ring right now may determine the atmosphere that we see in that match in the coming weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the NXT champion, Seth Rollins.
The first ever NXT champion, Seth Rollins, has the fans on their feet here at the NXT Arena, Orlando, Florida, Full Sail University. Seth Rollins is the most popular man in the arena.
And he has had his disagreements with Jinder Mahal in the last few editions of NXT, and I guarantee you things could boil over here if the two of them do not keep their cool.
Seth, I'd like to start with you, and I'd like to talk about the vicious sneak attack, the attack from behind by
Michael, that was no attack. Eko attack नहीं सी. तैनू भी हुण चंगी तरह पता लग गया होना. That was a message, and I sent it loud and clear.
No attack? You say that was an attack? Jinder, that's exactly what that was. It was an attack, a cowardly attack by a desperate man. That's the only way you know how to get the job done, because you know, and I know, and all these people know that if it's you and me one-on-one in this ring, you can't beat me.
Seth, you becoming champion is nothing but a fluke. And everybody here knows that. And you, just like everybody here, you are a born loser. It is my birthright to be a champion. I am the Maharaja. Mera naam hai Jinder Mahal. Sare jane sun lavo. I am the supreme superstar. Never before has there been a superstar. Jinder Mahal varga kan kolke sonla. Do vikandevech in 2 weeks. I will personally humble you in the middle of this ring.
Jinder, you know, somewhere in that nonsensical diatribe that you just spewed, there was actually a bit of fact. You say that I remind you of all these people.
Loser, born loser. Exactly, you are a born loser, just like everybody here.
Jinder, I am just like these people. I'm just like that guy. I'm just like him. I'm just like them. And I'm just like everybody watching at home. We are one mind, one spirit, one blood, and we have one other thing in common. We will never be anything like you. Because you know what, Jinder? I don't do this very often because I don't like to say that I'm better than people, but I'm gonna make an exception for you. You are the kind of person I detest more than any other because you think the world owes you something. You think that you deserve my NXT championship. Let me tell you something, Jinder. I am better than you. And this is mine. And you will never be a champion, Jinder, because you don't have the heart of a champion. Oh, you want to do this? You want to fight right now? I'm not afraid of you. Come on, Noah. Put down your little club. Let's do this. Come on.
Guys, whoa. A little decorum here. You got your match in a couple of weeks. Just relax. I'm out here tonight as a broadcast journalist to ask the hard questions, and I've got a hard question for you. Because Seth Rollins has a couple of points, and one of them is this. The fact is this, Jinder. Jinder, the fact is this. What makes you think that you can beat Seth Rollins after he's already beaten you in the middle of the ring?
How typical of the American media. Huh? Tu meri besti karta hai is sawal de naal? I won't put up with you trying to embarrass me. I don't have to stand for this prejudice.
The cheap shot by Mahal who put his hands on Michael Cole. The NXT champion intervening, and look what the price that Rollins is now paying as the #1 contender.
Jinder Mahal going right after him, and this a preview of what we could see in a couple of weeks and locking in that camel clutch.
The camel clutch. As painful as any submission that we've seen in NXT.
And Seth Rollins can't seem to escape.
There's no escape that I've ever seen from the camel clutch.
And finally, the officials get involved here. The damage has been done to Rollins.
Could we be seeing this in a couple of weeks? Jinder Mahal hoisting the NXT championship. Rollins absolutely taken out of his game with that camel clutch.
Seth Rollins down after that camel clutch. Jinder Mahal in complete control heading into their future date for that NXT championship. But coming up next, perhaps the biggest main event to date here on NXT. Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan with their tag team championships on the line against the upstarts Johnny Curtis and Michael McGillicuddy. That's up next on NXT.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing 232 pounds, Michael McGillicuddy.
Well, we just saw the bad blood that's been developing over the NXT Championship between Mahal and Rollins, but now our main event for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Michael McGillicuddy, Mr. Intensity, making his way to the ring. An unlikely pairing with he and Johnny Curtis, but JR, we've learned a lot tonight here on NXT. There's going to be some big events coming up in the future.
It's a very eventful night. We know that in 2 weeks, Seth Rollins will defend the NXT Championship against Jinder Mahal. But tonight, Curtis and McGillicuddy have the opportunity of a lifetime.
And his tag team partner from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 249 pounds, Johnny Curtis.
Well, Johnny Curtis is, well, he's an interesting character to say the least. A lot of people have dubbed him the King of Weird. I don't know. I take a look at him and he seems to be his own biggest fan. What do you think, JR?
I think he's wearing an excessive amount of baby oil, and I am uncomfortable.
A former model. I've talked to several members of the NXT locker room, and they have called him a narcissist and a very introverted person. You see that from his behavior.
Well, being a narcissist is not a new thing in sports entertainment. This young man has got a lot of skills, and you know, way back in the day on NXT, one of the seasons, he won an opportunity to compete for the Tag Team Championship. He's essentially cashing that in here tonight after all this time. That time, by the way, his tag team partner was R-Truth. So Curtis selects McGillicuddy, says, I want my tag opportunity. So it's here tonight on NXT against the most dysfunctional tag team in the annals of World Wrestling Entertainment. One of the most imposing sights that one will ever see in WWE. The Big Red Machine, the 7-footer, known as Kane.
Bringing his WWE Tag Team title all the way here to the NXT arena. And we've talked about how dysfunctional McGillicuddy and Curtis could be. Team Hell No might be the definition of dysfunctional.
You never know what's going to happen here tonight. Something crazy is in the air, no doubt.
Introducing the WWE Tag Team Champions. First, from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing 210 pounds, Daniel Bryan. And his partner, weighing 323 pounds, Kane. Together, they are Team Hell No.
Daniel Bryan, one of the most easily incited superstars in all of WWE. However, he is one half of the Tag Team Champions, despite what he may say.
Tag Team Championship will be decided on NXT.
Welcome back to NXT, our main event tonight. The WWE Tag Team Championships are on the line. Kane and Daniel Bryan in the building to go up against an unlikely pairing between Johnny Curtis and Michael McGillicuddy. Now, Curtis, having won Season 4 of NXT, was granted an opportunity to go after any title that he saw fit, and he decided to set his sights on the Tag Team Championships, and he chose his polar opposite in Michael McGillicuddy to be his partner tonight on NXT.
Well, quite frankly, McGillicuddy and Curtis have been tag team partners before. They got a good chemistry. Nice arm drag takedown by Daniel Bryan after a perfect takeover by McGillicuddy to start this sequence off. And now Daniel Bryan feigning a tag with his tag team partner Kane.
Johnny Curtis.
You know, this strange things can happen on nights like this. It takes 3 seconds to win or lose. You never know when Kane tags himself in.
Coming in right there as Daniel Bryan stuck a little bit there in the corner. Johnny Curtis. And here's a man who told me backstage, better to look good than to feel good. I guarantee he doesn't feel too good right now in there with Kane.
That's the old Ricardo Montalban line, Fantasy Island. So you just can Google that if you choose. There's Daniel Bryan won the tag. Kane said not this time. Curtis very happy to make the tag to McGillicuddy.
McGillicuddy and Curtis doing a good job trying to cut off Kane at least. McGillicuddy with a little bit of defense. And flying through the air, Kane took full advantage of that one.
Yeah, right hand.
And now sending McGillicuddy out of the ring onto the mat.
That's a clothesline that just powered McGillicuddy over the top. I have high expectations for Michael McGillicuddy. I think he has the potential to be a huge star, like a huge right hand from Kane. And look at the knee, the running knee from Daniel Bryan. A lot of offense here in a variety of ways from the tag team champions.
Well, Daniel Bryan made the last tag, so Kane heads back to the corner. Now Daniel Bryan set to work on Michael McGillicuddy. McGillicuddy covered now and kicks out. Manages to escape the early pinfall from Bryan.
McGillicuddy's family legacy casts a large shadow as Grandpa Larry the Axe Hennig, big star in the AWA, based in Minneapolis back in the day. Of course, his dad was Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig.
Daniel Bryan tossed out of the ring there by McGillicuddy and making a quick move to avoid Curtis and Bryan, but he's met by a drop kick.
Daniel Bryan left himself a little bit exposed, and on the referee can't be everywhere at once. You see Johnny Curtis taking advantage, an unfair advantage, but an advantage nonetheless. You know, you look at a team like Curtis and McGillicuddy, what the heck do they have to lose?
Here's a cover. Daniel Bryan manages to get away. And now McGillicuddy, Mr. Intensity, looking to work on the head of Daniel Bryan.
Crossface, one of the most vicious maneuvers in all the game. That crossface across the face, across the nose, makes the eyes water, breaks noses, busts lip, chips teeth.
Great teamwork there by Curtis and McGillicuddy. Curtis looking to get the win, and escaping is Bryan.
We see an inverted atomic drop followed by a reverse clothesline in the back of the head. Good uppercut by Curtis. See, like I said, Curtis and McGillicuddy got nothing to lose. They can try things that they maybe normally would not. They can take unusual chances because they have nothing to lose. They have everything to gain by leaving this television broadcast as the new WWE Tag Team Champions.
Speaking of unusual, the behavior so far of Johnny Curtis, I think, is the definition of the word. Now Daniel Bryan looking to escape this hold, but Johnny Curtis and Michael McGillicuddy have done a good job so far of, for the most part, keeping Kane and Bryan in their corner.
Well, we've seen more tags thus far from the challengers of the WWE Tag Team Champions, and Michael McGillicuddy. He's still growing, still filling out. He's getting better each and every time you see him. Tagging in the unorthodox, as you said, Tom, earlier, the narcissistic Johnny Curtis, who is somewhat flamboyant at times. Not, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there's anything wrong with that.
Well, we've seen superstars like that before. He might get the cover here. Looking to get his wish with a tag team title, but Daniel Bryan gets out of that pinfall, but we've seen superstars, the likes of Johnny Curtis before. How much success can they really have in the WWE?
Well, if they're fundamentally sound and they're physical, they're intense, their flamboyance and the packaging can throw a guy off his game. Johnny Curtis is a very skilled competitor. He may have different wrapping, but you can't judge the old book by its cover. And yes, Sir Curtis has a flamboyant cover. So what?
Bryan countering out of that toss. Off the ropes. Both men locked up, and they're down in the middle.
Boy, Daniel Bryan's taking a lot of punishment. That mid-air collision didn't do Bryan any favors. Daniel Bryan really needs to make a tag sooner than later.
Kane has been locked up in his corner, waiting to get in, and not that he hasn't been able to reach out for Daniel Bryan as they typically make a tag. Now here comes McGillicuddy and Kane, looking to meet in the center of the ring. McGillicuddy meets with a big boot from Kane. Kane driving him into the corner, and this is what McGillicuddy and Curtis did not want.
Kane, 323 pounds, not going to take any stupid or unnecessary chances.
Sidewalk slam, planting him in the middle, and now Curtis down on the mat.
Kane, a first ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt about that.
The big red machine.
Flies.
The lariat right into the chest. Classic Kane.
7 feet tall, 323 pounds, has done the damage. And now his partner, Daniel Bryan, wants the glory as Bryan tags himself in this match and is imploring Kane to get on the apron.
And Kane distracting him for just a moment. Here's a roll-up. McGillicuddy may steal one. No, now Kane looking for it. And he just gets out of it, does Bryan.
Daniel Bryan inadvertently knocked his partner off the apron and a near fall. McGillicuddy from behind. But I believe it's Kane. Is Kane the legal man or is it Daniel Bryan?
I think it's Daniel Bryan, and there he gets the choke slam and now the no lock in the corner. Here's Daniel Bryan. Got McGillicuddy in the corner. Johnny Curtis is out cold, and there's the tap.
First, the LaBelle lock, named after Judo Gene LaBelle. Then it was the yes lock, and then it has morphed into the no lock, but we still have dysfunction in Team Hell No. But the bottom line, Tom, they are still WWE Tag Team Champions.
And there are a bevy of tag teams looking to knock them off, as we saw tonight. Valiant effort from Michael McGillicuddy and Johnny Curtis. Curtis squandering his title opportunity as Kane and Daniel Bryan, despite their dysfunctionality, are two of the best within the tag team division.
Two of WWE's biggest superstars are that man Daniel Bryan and Kane. They are the reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. As unpredictable, as dysfunctional, and now, how do you solve a problem?
Hug it out.
You hug it out with your
buddy.
buddy.
Hug it out. Now that's how you solve a problem, JR.
Entertaining, unpredictable, and implosive. You never know what to expect from the WWE Tag Team Champions.
Well, whatever it is they seem to do, they've got a tremendous winning formula. They might not even like each other, but regardless, they are still the WWE Tag Team Champions after defeating Johnny Curtis and Michael McGillicuddy. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. We'll see you next time here on NXT.